Captain Insano shows no mercy.
Straight cash, homie.
Hold on to your butts.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Basic Monsters Game Day Podcast. I'm Ivan Vargas. That's Luke Nettles. We got a good one, like we said. It's 17-10 right now. Ravens over the Cowboys, but both teams look like they want to play. And, I mean, for the Ravens, it's been the big play.
Yeah, it's definitely been the play. And Dobbins is getting loose. You know, that run game is starting to kind of chug along. They've had a couple deep balls. Luke Wilson getting in there for one since Andrews is out. But, Dallas has just dropped balls. I mean, really, like CeeDee Lamb just had that one in the end zone and just couldn't come down with it. So, I mean, they're trying. I can tell you that. They're trying.
They're there. It's just, like you said, execution. A big interception early for Lamar, and then he had a huge run. Made up for it right after that. He had I think it was a 38-yard run for a touchdown, and then he threw a touchdown pass to, was it Boykin, I believe? And that one was a little weird to me because there was nobody there. There was nobody around. I don't know if Van Der Esch had the coverage or if the coverage was belonging to somebody else. But there's no way you leave a guy like that wide open, especially in the red zone.
Yeah, especially in the NFL. Like, I mean, you know, we see blown coverages here and there, whatever. But it's the tale of, you know, with the Ravens, it's the tale of you never know who's going to get the ball. One day it's Snead, you know, all of a sudden putting up 2 touchdowns. All of a sudden today is Boykin. They've hit Hollywood Brown a little bit. I don't know if there's I didn't see. I've kind of been cooking and everything too, so I don't know if Duvernay if he's done too much as well. But you know, that's the thing with the Ravens, and especially since Mark Andrews is out, it makes it even more. You know, makes it even harder to determine who they're going to throw it to because Mark is usually their number one guy.
Right, and right now Marquise Brown is the leading receiver, 4 receptions, 19 yards. Well, actually, Miles Boykin leads in yards, but Marquise Brown has most receptions. Miles Boykin has 1 reception, 38 yards, and a touchdown, like we had said before. But the running game for the Ravens is clicking, and I mean, they showed a graphic, and the Cowboys are dead last at stopping the run on defense, and I mean dead last in every category. And the Ravens are exploiting that. Lamar Jackson, 6 carries, 55 yards, and a touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, 5 carries, 51 yards. And here's those 2 averages. I'm going to finish up, but here's those 2 averages. 9.2 and 10.2, respectively. Then you got Gus Edwards, 3 carries, 45 yards, average 15. Mark Ingram, 2 for 10, average 5. So they are gashing them on the ground. And Lamar Jackson sits at 8 completions, 10 attempts, 74 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. They're gashing them. They're gashing them on the ground. Like I said, I believe that running attack caused that broken coverage to the I believe is he a receiver? Is Boykin a receiver or a tight end?
I think he's a receiver.
But yeah. Yeah, I think he's a receiver. But either way, like they've been just gashing him on the ground. The Cowboys have no answer. Dalton has been decent. 15 completions, 22 attempts, 123 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. Zeke, 10 carries, 53 yards. They need to keep going after that. They need to keep
big time.
They need to keep Zeke eating. They need to feed Zeke, and I swear, if they go ahead and they stray away from the running game, and that's the Dallas Cowboys in the second half, expect Baltimore to keep the train rolling because you need to control this clock. You need to control the clock. You need to shorten the length of the game, really shorten the length of the game so you can find yourself within maybe the last few possessions at a point to either take the lead or add to a lead once you go ahead and try to make a run here in the second half.
Yeah, they're gonna have to. You know, it's that thing we talk about all the time. It's like now you pretty much force yourself into a position where you have to play an almost perfect game, and that means no penalties. That means get your run game going. That means get your receivers going. Dallas. But I mean, you know, that's been the story of this Dallas team all year. It's that defense. Even when they had Dak, Dak's putting up 45 points and they're still losing the game. So that Dallas defense is, like I said, I don't know, man. Maybe you don't pay Dak and you revamp that defense. I don't know.
Sacrifices have to be made, and we know that in the NFL. Sacrifices have to be made. Who do you want to be? I mean, really, like if you have an Andy Dalton that's coming in here and let's say he leads them to, they find some success here late. Do you let Dak walk and go ahead and build that defense? I mean, that's a serious question. That's a serious
for sure.
question, Cowboys. And
it's not going to matter if you keep him because it doesn't matter what he does because your defense can't help him out. So you're forced to choose between. It's a tough decision. You got to make a decision on one of them.
They've been hurt, like you said, but I really think they need to focus on that, adding that defense some way somehow. Not that I wouldn't want to sign Dak, but what are you going to sign him for? And like I said before, if I were the Dallas Cowboys, and first of all, if I'm Dak, let alone the Dallas Cowboys, I'm asking for big money. I'm asking for big money. There's a huge difference between how this team flows. I mean, they were putting up mad points in the first few games. And even though there were some losses, they had that huge comeback against Atlanta. They almost came back against Cleveland. You know what I mean? Like they were able to go ahead. And I think that Cleveland might have been Andy Dalton, but still they had the offense. You know what I'm saying? Even with Andy Dalton. So like Dak was making this. I think this team turns it around midway through the season with Dak Prescott, but the defense has been exploited. 32nd, dead last in every category running. Run defense is concerned. Like that's not how you win football games. That's how you win championships. You don't win championships by allowing a team to run for damn near 150 yards in the first half. And the quarterback's the one leading the way.
Yeah, and the other thing is you got to think about is Washington and New York seem like they're maybe a player or two away from really busting it open and just owning this division. So
really?
That's your because Washington, they get a couple more guys on that defense and maybe a little bit of help on that offensive line. Oh man, Washington could be deadly.
Philly looks like they're going to be down in the dumps again. Good riddance.
Yeah, because they're probably looking at getting rid of Wentz, but it's like who's going to take him and his contract? That's the hardest part they got.
I'll tell you that one. Keep Mitch 1.0 over there.
I heard Ted Phillips was hitting him up on his phone the other day.
Yeah, get that.
But yeah, no, I mean, like that's
a flavor and retire.
Yeah, so I mean, what it really gets down to is like how Jerry is. Jerry's, it's Dallas or nothing. We're the best, blah 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 blah. But Jerry will not. He does not like sitting at the bottom of that division. He's like I said, he's going to have a lot of stuff to think about in this offseason. And you're right, there is going to have to be sacrifices. But yeah, I mean, like if Washington and the because if Saquon was healthy this year, I'm sure the Giants probably add at least three more victories.
Oh, dude, they lost. Like I said, there was a 3-game stretch where they lost by 1 point, 2 points, and 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not in order, but in 3 games. Come on, 100 and something yards and a touchdown from Saquon Barkley, the best back in the league, in my opinion.
Yeah,
like that's a huge difference.
Yeah,
a huge difference.
And now Washington. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, and he helps Daniel Jones even more. Daniel Jones has shown that he has some upside.
Yeah,
he has some upside. The drafting has been somewhat justified. He's fighting for it. At least he shows progression, and at least he shows he wants to lead that team in New York.
Yeah, and then you got them, and then you got the Washington. I mean, like you just saw what happened with Washington yesterday. They just knocked off an undefeated team, and came back. Not only did they beat them, they came back on them to win that. So like I said, Washington, add some stuff to defense. Maybe if they could find another burner receiver, and maybe shore up that line a little bit. Other than that, I think Washington's pretty ready to go. But like I said, if those two teams take that step, and you're Dallas, and you're like, okay, well, we're gonna sign Dak, and we're gonna keep our defense because it's not the players, it's the coaches or something. Who knows what goes through Jerry's head, but you know, if they decide to keep both of them, everybody on defense and Dak, Jerry's going to be sitting at the bottom of that division.
Well, like I said, sacrifices have to be made, and I'm not saying totally tank it for the Cowboys. I mean, you have pieces, and I think you have the owner that wants to do it, that could do it on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like I said, sacrifices are going to have to be made with that team. If you want to really, truly like set yourself head and shoulders above the competition that's in the NFC East, you got to really think about some of the players and some of the direction that you've been going. I mean, yeah, you just got Mike McCarthy. Maybe give him a year with a quarterback, maybe with Dak. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, part of me feels like Dak was a little bit slighted. I don't know. Maybe he wants to be a Cowboy. We don't like. Maybe we're just all speculating. I mean, it is speculation regardless.
Yeah.
Like maybe we're just full of shit. And Dak is like, I love Dallas. What I'm saying, like,
well,
I'm Dallas. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe we're all wrong. But in my opinion, if I'm like, hey man, if I'm your guy, I'm asking for this. It ain't that much, and you know, like, what's up with that? And then he's putting up like
ungodly numbers.
On record pace. Let's just say that he was on record pace. And who knows when you continue the season, what happens? But we're watching Andy Dalton do a little bit something with these guys. I mean, you can only imagine if these guys weren't so dejected by the loss of their quarterback. Maybe they play inspired. Maybe the rest of the season. Maybe who knows? Who knows what happens if Dak was there? But I mean, I guess we'll never know. We'll never know about this season. We're gonna have to wait till next season.
I think that's exactly what's going to have to happen. And just to go back to what you were talking about with Dak and how we don't know, maybe he does. I mean, they offered him a contract, he turned it down. So maybe it sounds like money is the motivator for Dak. And if Dallas doesn't come correct, he's going to go elsewhere, I think.
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, it is a business. You know what I'm saying? Like if the owner's gonna say that the owner's gonna, want to take that to the bank at times, we gotta be real. This is a business. And if Dak feels like he's slighted, you know what I'm saying? If the business was bad, I could see him walking. Why not? If there's greener pastures or whatever, what have you. Why not go ahead and bet on yourself somewhere else?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you can bet on yourself anywhere else, anywhere in the league, Dak, specifically Chicago.
But
yeah, I'm saying, like I am a Dak Prescott fan. Not like he just kind of I don't want to say he screwed himself, because I feel like he's going to come back and he's going to come back strong. But it's just it puts yourself in a tight situation when you do that. But give him credit. The man stood up for himself. Like, he bet on himself. You can't knock him for that too hard.
No.
The money's one thing, but it doesn't sound like Dak is going to be out forever. It sounds like he's going to come back, and hopefully he comes back stronger. We'll see. Right now, I think they got a little trouble with Baltimore because if you can't, like we said, if you can't plug up that run, they're gonna hit you over the top sooner or later, regardless of the lack of weapons that they have. They're gonna hit you over the top.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's just like I said. It's just, for whatever reason, on paper, this defense looked amazing, and they can't get it together. I don't know if that's a McCarthy thing or is that the D coordinator thing or what it is, but they're just, I mean, they're 32nd in the league defense for a reason. I mean, they just can't stop anything. So it's, I hope they can come back and kind of make this a little bit closer of a game. And, I don't want to see Baltimore just run away with it. But, Dalton, like I said, I just feel like Dallas needs to push the ball farther down the field sometimes. Like, I see a lot of, 5, 8, 10, 12, 15-yard routes. Like, start going down. I mean, you got CeeDee Lamb. He's a burner, man. Cut him loose.
Yeah, cut him loose. All right, guys. Well, cut him loose, but make sure you feed Zeke.
Right.
Look, he's your guy. Make sure you feed Zeke. That's what's going to help you in the rest of this game. If you could get his carries 25 and up, he starts gashing them late, and you could keep pace with this team on defense. I mean, that's the key. So if you can stop the run, you can keep feeding Zeke and get their run going. I think Dallas is going to stay in it to the end. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get back to the game. We'll get to you guys in the post game. This has been the Base Monster Game Day podcast. I'm Swartz on Chicago. I'm Ivan Vargas. That's Luke Nettles. Until the post game, y'all. Peace.
Captain Insano shows no mercy.
Straight cash, homie.
Hold on to your butts.